All right, everybody, and welcome to Rogues Gallery Live. I'm your host, Chris, the Batman statue collector. This is episode number 13, and we have an amazing show tonight. Lots of great topics on the agenda for this evening. We're going to be talking about some new updates from Prime 1 shipping, what's been going on between Prime 1 and Sideshow Collectibles. We're also going to be talking about the pictures from this last week, some of the new pre-orders. There's lots of stuff coming up this week and then also last week that I want to talk about. And then at the very end, we're going to do our in-game discussion. It is going to be a spoiler discussion. So we wanted to wait at least a week that it's been out. And that's why we waited till the end. So we will give you another warning if you guys want to log off. Of course, half of you will probably log off at that point. But we did want to have that discussion because it's been hard not to talk about it. And I love the movie. I hope you guys did too. And I can't wait to discuss it a little bit. I know Mr. Stir Fry has not seen it, so he might leave the chat at that point so he doesn't get anything spoiled. But the rest of us have seen it, and so I wanted to do that tonight. And with that said, I want to introduce the gallery this evening. First off, with us as always, Mr. Lawrence Old Jr. Hello, Lawrence.
No, always except for now.
With us as always.
Well, I guess. Well, maybe not. This might be his last one. I don't know. We'll see. But back with us this week, Mr. Jeff Morris. Hello, Jeff.
Hi, guys.
Yep.
Jeff.
Glad you're back with us, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Lawrence.
Hey,
and Lawrence
everybody.
here.
Sorry about that. I had to bail for a second. The dog was barking.
No problem. Well, I was just introducing you, and then you weren't there. So, how are you doing tonight?
Good. How's everybody?
Good.
Awesome.
We also have the Paradox Nerd himself, PJ's in the house.
Eat your boy. Hey guys. What's going on?
I referred to him just a moment ago, but returning once again, Mr. Centauri Stir Fry is with us.
Howdy.
Yeah.
Howdy.
Yeah.
We also, of course, have Rodney, the Punisher Jones, with us again.
What's up, people? Glad to be here.
Awesome. And make first appearance. I'm really excited to have him on the show. Is Mr. Dan Default. Dan Default.
Yeah. Hey, guys. Thanks for having me, Chris. Really happy to be here.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Have an amazing
welcome,
collection. Hopefully we'll get a little peek at that a little bit later.
Yeah.
If you'd be willing to show us. I know we'd love to see that. And pardon me. And then also, last but not least, we have Child of the Atom himself, Mr. A. Tim, returning home. And I want to give him a giant congratulations because we get to celebrate with a brand new daughter, healthy daughter, and she got to come home today. So congratulations, man.
Excellent.
Than's so much, man.
Congratulations.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks. She's a cutie. I'm
Welcome
very
to
happy.
No Sleep.
Yeah, we're in the end game now.
We're in the end game now.
Not the end game.
Hashtag no sleep.
Yeah, I don't know how you're still standing, really.
Yeah.
I have a really good support system, man. I don't know how people do this without like big families behind them, because I would be on my face right now. But you know, my wife is a trooper. Her parents, my parents. I got brothers and sisters. She has a brother. It's dope to have so much family. So shout out to the family watching.
That's awesome. Cool. That's awesome. Well, we're just really happy for you and wish you guys nothing but the best. Really excited.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Well, I want to give a couple shout outs real quick to the people in the chat that are here with us today. Got Marcos S. We've got B. Alex Thompson, Bro Marino. Let's see, Jason M. 8-Bit Flea. Hey, 8-Bit.
8-Bit. Cool.
Always with us. And Child of the Atom's in the chat as well. Hello, Child.
Hey.
Hello, sir. We're in the chat as well. Excellent. So we're going to keep an eye on that. If you guys have any questions or want us to discuss something, we'll be looking up in that chat as well. So guys, if you'd help me with that part of it, I sometimes miss some things. So anyway, Jose Otero is also with us. So thank you guys, as always, for being in the chat with us. So our first topic tonight is the topic of, it's been kind of the biggest topic over the last couple months, really, and that's the Sideshow Prime 1 issue. For those of you that might not be familiar, Sideshow had been partnered with Prime One. Might still be. We're not sure. But basically, Sideshow has not put up pre-orders over the last 2 or 3 months now for Prime One items. I contacted both companies a while back, and both of them said that they were working it out. You would see these items on their website again, but to this point, we have not. Since then, we have been teased with a U.S. warehouse for Prime One. Nothing's been official, but we have been teased that. And then also they announced U.S. economy shipping, which is very interesting. So what have you guys heard about all of this going forward? What do you think? Do you think this is going to change things pretty much? I know some of you have ordered Prime One pieces before, but I'd love to hear what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I kind of think this is just Prime One growing up. You know, I don't think any company wants to stay under Sideshow. They do it because it helps them grow. And, you know, if Prime One gets a warehouse here, they'll be able to cut down on some of that shipping and, you know, walk on their own. So it's kind of natural. It's scary because if you order stuff from Sideshow, if you order Prime One pieces from Sideshow right now, you're kind of not sure how it gets handled if something goes wrong. But, it's part of growing, I think, for Prime One. So,
yeah, that's what I'm curious about, like how this affects older pieces that were up like maybe two or 3 months ago, like that Master Race, that Dark Knight.
Yeah,
that's what I plan on getting. So, is that going to be affected? I wonder if anybody knows.
I wonder that too. I know that some people have been posting that they have requested for replacements. Like me, I've got my dome here. Still sitting here in my Mr. Freeze dome.
Oh, wow.
And I did finally, after a few weeks, I did get a response that says that they are aware of it and that they are contacting Prime One. I still have not heard anything back. What I've been hearing from other collectors is that they are saying that they're contacting Prime One, but Prime One is telling collectors that they haven't been contacted at all. And so then they're trying to maybe make arrangements to try to get these items out to collectors, even though they bought through Sideshow, which again seems that maybe that relationship is pretty severed at this point. But I do agree with Surfer. I would imagine that they will honor those orders unless they just do a bulk cancel. I don't know if they would do that or not. But it'll be real interesting. That the thing about the shipping has also been interesting that here I saw a post tonight about somebody had ordered, maybe it was Batman Hush or something. It's 2 boxes, and now they're getting $250, $350 quotes from Sideshow. But I was just curious about the economy shipping. So what they basically said is going to happen with that is that if you order directly from Prime One, you can order the regular shipping. Like when I ordered my Arkham Origin or my Arkham Knight Joker, it got to me in like a week. Shipping was high, yes, but it got to me pretty quickly. The economy shipping is going to take 1 to 3 months after you make your final payment. So usually when you get it from Sideshow, you make your payment, your final payment, and then they ship it to you. But this would be 1 to 3 months later via boat. So there's some question how, if it would still be as good if it's been on the boat. I don't know. But I had an item in my cart just to see what the shipping would be, and I was quoted like $36.
Whoa.
Correct. And that's the thing. If like people are willing to be patient, I don't know at this point why they wouldn't. I have heard a lot of people say we're going to cancel from Sideshow and just order through Prime One. But with that kind of shipping price, yes, it's going to take longer to get to you. But if you are patient, good Lord. Even if it's under 50, like that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That, they were having to charge $400, $500, $600 to some places to get 1 box in, and now if you can get it for less than 50, like that's crazy to me.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
What was the $50 piece? The shipping?
Say that again, Jeff.
What was the shipping fee? What piece was it?
I think it was, what did I say, 39?
36.
Yeah.
36, yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be willing to wait. I wouldn't mind
Absolutely.
3 months. Like shoot, I
You
say,
already
what?
wait a year.
I'll wait. Well, I wouldn't wait. Well, maybe I'll wait a
Well,
year.
no, I'm saying you already wait a year. So
Yeah. So, I mean, I just wish that the companies will be more upfront and kind of release a statement saying that, hey, moving forward, we're gonna do this. Unfortunately, we severed, or not severed, like we we're not going to be working together or whatever they want to say. And then for older pieces, they would say, hey, we're still working on those pieces. If you need a replacement, you can still go to Sideshow and they will contact us.
Yeah.
But it's like basically like I feel like the whole community knows about the whole situation without them releasing a statement. And like what Ronnie said, and to piggyback off of that, is like, they're growing up. And my question is that how is this going to affect the other companies, like the bigger name companies, like Hot Toys and who's another big company that's that they're going through Sideshow for distribution, like
Iron
Studios.
Iron Studios.
Yeah.
Like how are they gonna handle something like this? If they see like Prime One, they're like, wait a minute, Prime One's doing well. They're offering these like rewards points.
Studios already has a US website.
Yeah.
It started like not less than a year ago.
Yeah, I saw that, Jeff, and I never ordered through Iron Studios because I was always curious to see how their shipping was. But like now, I want to see if they're gonna push hard for like, oh, these like rewards points or cheaper shipping. Same with Hot Toys, like how's that gonna all affect the rest of the big name companies? If they see Prime One growing up, I'm sure they would like to grow up too and do their own thing,
Hot Toys will not be far behind Prime One.
Oh yeah, and Jeff, you know how the how people want their Hot Toys right away.
Yep.
Because there's people still waiting to get figures that were released in January and February from Sideshow. That and they're like, well, we're only getting stuff in waves. We don't know when we're getting it. So,
yeah, I feel like there's something up with that too. Like I feel like there's something going on with that. Like that's usually last year, as soon as it released in Hong Kong, like a month and a half later, it's in Sideshow's warehouse, ready to be.
Some of the stuff that came with the gantry piece came the next week after it was released.
Yeah, so I'm really curious how this is going to play out for a Sideshow for the rest of the year.
It seems like we're seeing the the various pieces that Prime One is the actions they're taking. It almost seems like they're responses as the relationship deteriorates. You're seeing these kind of responses, and it seems like it's almost like there's blood in the water. So we're going to go after it while we can. The rewards points piece coming out, and the shipping piece, and the warehouse piece. It's like they're kind of building the plane as they're flying it.
Yeah.
But I think that with Sideshow's pricing coming up and questionable the QC kind of being even more questionable than it was, I think with the dynamics that you guys were just talking about with Hot Toys, I think that Sideshow they're really, there's a lot of risk there for them. I think in the not too distant future.
Yeah, I agree with you. And you brought up reward points. I wanted to bring that up as well. That John Pham did clarify this week. I guess it went kind of up the same time that they broadcast about the U.S. shipping or the economy shipping, was that now if you can use your reward points, I believe up to 90% on a pre-order and 100% on a in-stock item, and that had changed. I don't remember does anybody know what it was prior?
No.
It was a very small amount, maybe like 30%, maybe, I can't remember. But it was how much, Jeff? 20. Okay, so 20. So it went from 20 to 90. So that, that's a really big deal too for a lot of collectors that want to use those points to be able to use those toward future purchases. So I feel like that is another little clue that maybe we're not going to be seeing anything else from Sideshow. But again, I do feel like it's odd that neither side has said something. To me, it's almost like, I'm a school counselor, and all the rumors get spread about a fourth grade class or something like that. It's like if we just knew the truth from the beginning, there wouldn't be all these rumors and innuendo. So
it almost seems like, Chris, like there hasn't been a truth. It almost seems like we're watching it break down in real time.
Yeah.
This is like Kramer versus Kramer.
Yeah.
It's a bad breakup, and they don't want to talk to each other.
Exactly.
We're like the kids, just like in
Yeah,
the middle.
and I'm sorry, I have 3 Prom 1 POs, so if something goes wrong, I'm gonna be mad at both sides. So
Extreme is actually in the chat right now, and he said that he switched all of his Sideshow orders over to Prime 1, and he even bought a few Prime 1s that were in stock, and he had 3 delivered this week via economy shipping, no fees due, as there usually are, and it's shipped in 2 weeks.
Wow. Oh, this was for stuff that was already in stock.
Those are for he said he ordered a couple in stock and 3 deliveries this week via economy shipping.
Nice.
That's
Okay.
So within 2 weeks of him ordering them, I guess.
Nice.
Okay, who's the guy that's holding all these statues?
That's Mr. X.
I would say like it's probably stored in like someone's house and like, oh wait, someone ordered. We gotta ship it
You
out.
hit that sale
So
up.
I mean, let's do a little business role play here, guys, because I don't really know the ins and outs. But maybe
Ooh, I like role playing.
Maybe we can talk. Maybe we can talk through it, right?
This took a dark turn.
Oh, cartel, baby!
Oh my
What
god!
Mike Lee joining us. Hey, how's it going, Mike?
Oh, fellas.
What up, Mike?
Oh snap!
Mike.
Welcome. We're just discussing kind of what's been going on with Sideshow and Prime 1. So I'm really glad you're here, though. Welcome.
Thanks, man. Happy to be here.
That's awesome.
We got an all-star study cast going on right here, man.
Yeah, man.
It is a rogues gallery for sure. I love it.
Right.
ATM, you were saying about a business, the business side of things.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess let's try to work it out. If let's say I'm Prime 1 and I can't distribute stuff from the United States, so I need to make a partnership with Sideshow. So I say, hey, Sideshow, will you guys distribute my statues? I'll ship them to you, and then you ship them out to the customer. And for Sideshow, the benefit would probably be a percentage. Like, I'm going to get a percentage of the sale.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, plus maybe they're not paying any shipping out to the customer because the customer's eating that price.
Mhm.
So they're really not losing anything. But let's say the item is damaged. Now, Sideshow doesn't have the stock in warehouse. So they got to call Prime 1 and say, yo, you have a broken hand over here. And then Prime 1 has to eat the cost to send it to California, for Sideshow to send it out to Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of money. Now, maybe the percentage was enough that Sideshow was like, cool, I'm down. I'll help you out. We have a good partnership going. And something went awry that they said, we're not doing that anymore. Now, if you want to send stuff out to them directly, you can do that. Because maybe in the contract, it didn't say anything about we have to cover your damages or anything. Maybe it was a courtesy at the beginning. And it's no longer a courtesy anymore. And they're like, look, we don't have to worry about your quality control. That's your problem. We just distribute for you. And I don't know that, but I try to think like, what would I do if I was a smart American, powerful company and you needed me more than I need you? I guess that's kind of where my brain goes. How can I hold your feet to the fire and not lose anything for myself?
Yeah.
And I would imagine that Sideshow it's been lucrative for them because, Prime 1 has kind of taken off. I mean, everybody talks about the quality and the craftsmanship of these pieces. And I'm one of their biggest fans with all the pieces that I have. And so I would assume it had to raise their sales because they were popular items on their website. So I don't know if it was more Sideshow saying, they were the ones on that side, or if it was more Prime 1, like, we're okay now. We've risen to the top, and now we want to do our own thing. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, regardless, I feel that now it's become from a partnership to a competitor.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, because now, like, most of Prime 1 stuff is DC, and Sideshow does have a DC license, so I feel like now it's like, wow, it's like, who do you pick from? You know,
I mean, yeah, they're definitely a competitor, but if you're Prime One, you still got to look out for those people that bought your pieces from Sideshow.
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I'm sure at some point they're gonna say, "Hey guys, stop going to Sideshow for all your replacement. Come to us." I don't know. I have a feeling that's gonna happen. Like,
you think it'll be easier to get a replacement if they have a U.S. warehouse?
Oh yeah.
So then that would lead me to think it is about the shipping cost from Japan, right? They're a Japanese company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From Japan to California, that shipping cost is the same shipping cost we are all eating when we pay for stuff direct, you know?
Yeah.
Plus, they probably have to pay the import tax and all that stuff.
Exactly.
Now, if it's a warehouse in the U.S. and you need a replacement part, no problem. Here it is.
Bam, yeah.
Done.
Yeah, bam. Yep.
You know, you think about when Prime first sat down at the table too with Sideshow. They're a real young company, right? They're trying to get a foothold. You got to imagine Sideshow. They got, you know, they drove that deal, right? So I'm sure the margins are huge for Sideshow, and I'm sure Prime One's just saying, with all the expense that you were just talking about, Tim, they're like, oh no, this is done. We can now, because of the volume we're doing, we can afford to capitalize the business in the U.S. We can stand up the warehouse and all the logistics, and we're going to keep all that margin. Absolutely. And now you've got almost price parity, and with the rewards points, you know, and unless you just don't want the larger format statue, you want a quarter scale. I mean, the quality is so much better. Why wouldn't you go with Prime One? It's in fact, the points, it's almost equal.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I don't know how many chats ago, but I think we all talked about who would we want to be if we had to pick one statue company to make all our statues.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I picked Prime One.
Easy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at my collection update that I did for Chris's channel, like that was my number one. Was like, man, I want Prime One to make a Weapon X. You know, it's not any other company. I want Prime One to do it because I'm jealous. I haven't seen one in person yet. I just hear everybody talking about them. I'm like, man, let me get one.
You are due, my friend. You are due.
Yeah, I only have the Prime One Venom, so Tim, if you want to come over, have some beer.
Okay,
we can look at that statue.
It's a date, dude. It's a date, PJ.
Stop it.
Hey, Cartel, what do you have some Prime One pieces?
Right now I only have 3, but I have one more in order. Right now I have the Dark Knight, the Batman Beyond, and the Venom, and then I also have the Guts, the Bloody Nightmare exclusive, straight from Prime One. That one's going to be coming in pretty soon. Thinking about picking up the Zod. Yeah,
nice.
Zod.
Yeah, that's cool.
I really don't know where I'm going to put that shit.
That's a big one. That's what she said. But yeah,
I thought for sure you would have gotten the Batman Who Laughs.
You know what? I'm actually on the wait list on that one. I was like 5 minutes too late when it comes to the pre-order on that. That shit went quick, man. I think it went like the first couple hours.
Even on the Prime One side is waitlisted?
I'm not sure. It might not be.
I don't think it is because I think Manimal from Gem just got it. His first statue order.
What?
Yeah,
that's a big one to be the first. Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Damn.
I had that on pre-order day one. I cannot wait for that statue. So cool.
Yeah, that thing is sick.
Creepy as hell, but it's great.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask
some other Prime One pieces that I actually sold though. A while back when I was selling everything.
Well, let me ask you this though, like all of you guys, like if you, and I know Rodney, you said you have some pre-orders through Sideshow. I do as well. I think I maybe have 5. So what do we do? Are you going to keep your pre-orders through them?
Yeah, I'm not going to panic. I expect Sideshow and Prime One to do the right thing now.
Well, I mean, Sideshow still has Prime One pieces on their website.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, I would assume that they're going to keep their bond.
Because
we're ordered.
Yeah, that Harley I ordered from Sideshow and the crack test, and that stuff does not come out till 2020. So that'll be interesting.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
I gotta let the viewers know too. On Sideshow's website, a lot of Prime One pieces actually aren't on their regular search bar from their website. You have to go on like a Google search and put in Sideshow and then the piece you want, and then it'll redirect you to Sideshow's site.
Oh, wow.
Well, that brings up
Oh,
two
man.
things. Yo, I'm so happy you figured that out.
Damn.
Right.
Okay.
So let's say
So there's a couple pieces that are like that, and if you're looking at buying, don't just go straight to the Prime One site because you're gonna miss out on $300 in shipping.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yo,
Just in case.
let's get back to the contract negotiation, right? Let's say you're Sideshow and you're the big guy at the bargaining table. So you say, fine, we'll distribute your pieces, and then Prime One goes, yeah, that sounds great. Now there's no parameter that says when they have to put the pre-order up. There's no parameter that says there has to be a direct link. It just has to be on their page and available for you. It's literally like a bad girlfriend, going, oh, really? I can't borrow your car? No problem.
I'll
And they
fix
scratch
you.
it. You're like, what? How'd you get there from there, you know?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
It
crazy.
seems crazy, man. The more we
Yeah.
dig, the more we find out, man.
But you know,
Damn.
it's funny.
Nuts.
Like you would think that like you would just kind of like see it, like you wouldn't hear about stuff like this, but it's just so weird. Like this community is so small that we know what's going on. Well, not know exactly, but we have an idea what's going on. Like
I think a lot of it has to do with that domain change that they did a while back, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
update to the site hurt. Messed
did.
some stuff up.
We could
be
be
part of it.
something for no reason. It's just their website.
Now
Yep.
we're the crazy girlfriend.
Yeah, we're not.
And it's just not a top priority since they're like, you're leaving me.
That's the other thing. I think Prime One's they're capitalizing all this bad press for Sideshow. Man, they're just riding that wave hard right now. It seems like the more Sideshow suffers, the more they pile on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even
we're there.
the chat is agreeing with you right there. They're like,
Yeah.
yo, Prime One is the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the chat, 78 watching. Come on, guys, more likes. We only have 12 likes.
Wow.
Hit that thumb up. Thank you. That does help everybody. Thank you very much.
That's a lot of viewers, man. I remember when I first got into the community and people would have these chats. It'd be like 5-6 people. Way back in the day, man.
Yeah, but I mean that's crazy, And I wonder, like like what you guys are talking about, like the bad press, like with the quality control issues with Sideshow, what Sideshow experiences. Prime One. That's all we talk about is quality. Oh, look at that! Like what you see is what you get. With Sideshow, it's like you never know what you're gonna get. Like you get a prototype, and then the final production pictures are like totally way off from what they advertise. So
And then Sideshow out of nowhere will put
Rogue.
the live show Rogue today, a complete smoke
Damn.
show. I'm like, yo, I want to instant order that thing right now. That thing looks
Yeah.
so good.
yeah,
So
I'm
good.
telling-
And then you're
Was
like,
that
what happened
the
to Wonder
final
Woman?
production?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a production piece.
She looked good on that show. She looked real good today.
What?
I
That
kept on
portrait
staring.
was. Oh,
Sideshow
Tim,
just announce a Gambit and I will buy Rogue. Just announce Gambit. You would get 2 orders from it.
they're losing, customers to Prime One, so the better announce
We'll
out.
we'll get to this in a minute, but you brought up Rogue today. There were also pictures released this week of the final production photos of Doomsday, and it was just incredibly muted compared to the prototype. Like the green was really muted; it almost blended into the gray. I've noticed a lot of that. Why do you think that the colors are so much brighter or muted? Why can't they just use the same paint? I don't understand that.
so it's probably not the same paint. I mean, just from a painter's point of view, it's probably like the technique. I don't know, man. I mean, when you see Rogue and you see how they nailed that, like the colors on everything look right, and then you look at that piece and you're like, how did they get this so wrong? Or even Wonder Woman, it's a good piece. I saw it in person, and I'm like, man, the skin tone needs a little help. You know?
Yeah.
It is odd how that happens. I don't know.
Like lighting and photography can change everything.
Yeah. I
I
agree.
remember watching a studio tour a couple years back, Sideshow. I think it was Tested that went inside there and did a little studio tour with Sideshow. And they actually said that the paints they use at Sideshow the actual paints themselves are different kinds of paints than what they use at the factory. So I was thinking to myself, they just use the same fucking paints as the factory uses.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't understand why they would use different.
They'd have to have a paint spec, just like any place, like a car or like where I work. You have paint specs, so you'd have to go buy it. I don't know why there'd be different paints per country.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Sideshow makes unnecessary trouble for themselves.
Yeah,
they really do.
Because that's an easy fix.
Or do you think that there are paint restrictions, like maybe
chemical use?
It's not as stringent of what they could use paint wise, maybe.
Yeah, but I guess that would be backwards then, right? They would be able to over there do better work than over here if they had more opportunity to use different paint.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
It's weird because there's some like Tim said, like Wonder Woman and certain statues are kind of like what happened, and then certain statues are like absolutely mind blowing. Like for me, that Magneto, you have the prototype, and then the final production pictures and the final production product is perfect. It's exactly what they advertised. Same with that Rogue. I mean, they advertised that Rogue. It looked great, and even looks better in the live show. So I don't get it. Like it's just like every other statue. It's like hit or miss.
I think it depends on what factory they use.
It could depend on the license too.
The license too. Yeah, I agree.
Because those are all X-Men pieces. And X-Men is like the new hot thing right now.
Yeah. Right. I just don't get it. Like especially with that Wonder Woman, like that one, that the paint on that face was perfect, and then all of a sudden it's like it's different. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's different.
Yeah, it's definitely different. Yeah.
Definitely not the same.
They should have just showed the production piece, and there would be no Wonder Woman drama. Instead of that Linda Carter.
I've seen and both of them, the skin just looks like dead chicken. It's so white that it has absolutely no color all over it at all. And it was both of them, two different places. But it's like, man, they could have just a light.
Yeah, it's just two tones. It's like they put down the flesh base coat, and then they just do the low light, and that's it. They don't do any blending or like highlights or any warmth. It's just two tones. That's it. Done. Get it out.
She looks like a ghost at both places.
Yeah.
And here's another thing I wanted to point out is that like I feel like other statue companies are evolving, and when I say evolving, like like they add like all these like extra swap outs, like Iron Studios and Prime One. With Prime One Venom, I got like how many swap out heads, and then with Sideshow, it's like
you get one.
You get one, and that's exclusive.
Right.
So,
or you get like a thing that goes to the side of the base. It's not even part of the statue,
yeah.
Or a battery. Yay.
So I just went and got my. This is the head sculpt.
Nice.
Clear enough. This is the head sculpt for Deathstroke for my Prime One, and I don't ever display it, but they use a clear resin. And it looks amazing. The skin is incredibly detailed. It looks like real skin. You can see the difference here versus here. This is what I always feel like we get on a streaming format.
I agree.
True.
There's just nothing to it. But then, like, I just don't understand why you can't do that.
I was going to ask everybody if they have female pieces or something with skin exposed. A lot of skin showing. And what is a good example of that? Like, what company has done a good job if you have those pieces? Like, I have the old XM Thor, and I think they did a pretty good job. But at certain lighting, it kind of looks pasty just a little bit in certain areas, I think, like, the Huntress from Sideshow was pretty well done. But Wonder Woman shows a lot of skin. And maybe, I don't know, like, the old one looks pretty bad, too.
Yeah.
I have Two-Face's arm. Two-Face's arm, with the grenade launcher arm, is really good. And Harley Quinn's Suicide Squad, the Prime One, she's got quite a bit of skin and looks incredible.
Yeah.
We're talking about pale skin and burnt skin. Does anybody have any, like, naked chicks?
Closest I got is Aspen from Sideshow, showing some cheeks.
I have Red Sonja, and
Yeah,
she
there you
came
go.
out.
He
Oh
looks
man,
good.
she came out really nice.
Yeah, that's a good
And
example.
after a while, I mean,
She's faded.
Her skin's really white.
Like PJ rubbing it.
Are really white after a while. So I don't think it's Sideshow's fault though.
No, PJ gave her his own paint job.
I mean,
shading.
you know, as far as like painting, like I'm definitely like an amateur painter. You know, I wouldn't take a commission on from anybody, but I am messing around with painting my own stuff for sure, with the supervision of like a professional painter right next to me telling me I'm an idiot every time I mess up. And my biggest fear is skin tones, because skin tone is something you can't really like trick the eye. You know, if you're painting like a cape and you put like a shadow in the wrong spot, your eye won't really like get mad at you. But if you put the wrong shadow underneath a cheek or like underneath an eye, it's like you'll destroy the piece. And skin is my biggest fear. I'm like deathly afraid to like paint skin tones, you know?
Yeah, I think it's harder than it appears. Like the old school Sideshow Bane, I thought did pretty good. But you get really close on it, it looks like my skin, like all freckled and cancer ridden. But it looks pretty good from afar. You know, it looks like they did a good
on
job.
purpose, though?
Man.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's harder.
They definitely are doing like new freckling technique. I think they did it on like the Wolverine versus Hulk diorama. Like they freckled his skin out, and that was like a big hit. And I think since then they've kind of been doing that more and more. I think Juggernaut is freckled. It's a cool look.
He's a ginger.
You know? Yeah.
Pop Culture Shock has always done that freckling on a lot of their Street Fighter pieces.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, hopefully, you know, the competition too has forced some of the other companies to step up their game. Whereas, you know, Flesh used to be just a flat color with no shading. Now they're adding some other techniques, or at least trying some things to improve it to compete.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and it's one of those things with business. Like if you have more competition, like hopefully the prices go down. Meaning, like, you know, they want to win customers from and win collectors to come to their company to buy their statues. Yeah, as opposed to just having Sideshow, just kind of dictating the market.
And we got it.
Anyone?
It's not me.
Bugler.
Tim is the greatest of all time. You guys are so nice.
Hey,
How long have we been doing that for you guys?
Yeah.
Did it just start?
Yeah, just started.
That's weird.
hey,
Still there.
I think it might be Jeff.
Is it
Better.
Jeff?
I think Jeff, maybe your mic.
It's better now.
Yeah, it's better. Hey, Rodney, I wanted to ask you, I did just ask you about keeping your pre-orders. Does it change your mind if you knew that you wouldn't be able to get replacements?
Yes. Yes. If I knew that would be a problem in the future, I would definitely go straight to Prime One.
Yeah, I do. That's what I fear. I really think that it's going to be near impossible to get them.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm gonna stick with what I got right now, expecting the best from both of them to treat us right, because I will be pissed at both of them if something goes wrong and they don't deal with it. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Who would you be more pissed at?
I'm kidding. I don't know, because I don't know who to blame more. I really don't. I mean, it's Prime One's piece, but you know, I'm getting it through Sideshow. They better freaking talk to each other.
It's like mom and dad, right?
Yeah, y'all need to get y'all shit together and talk to each other. So
I want to give a quick shout out to some more people in the chat. We've got LMNO Popsicle, Adrian76, Divine, Extreme Collectibles is here. Hello.
Yo.
So,
he's saying
Jesse Hernandez, Red Hood.
Red.
Junior Statue Collector. Hey, Junior.
Junior. Mac Collections up in this house.
Yo, Matt.
Oh, Mac. Nice. SJ Pace 1776.
Travis Billington.
All right, so everybody I'm seeing. If I missed you, I apologize. Eric Bunio is in the house as well. Hey, Eric. Got a lot of people in here. Awesome. Thank you all for being here tonight. Does anybody else want to say anything else about Prime 1, or do you guys want to move on to pictures?
Just really want them to make a Magneto.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
I'm just curious how this plays out in like 5 years now. You know, like in terms of Prime 1, I feel Prime 1's growing, pretty steadily.
Prime 1, Sideshow, next to.
Yeah, and I wonder if at some point, I don't know how the licenses work, if Prime 1 will ever get a Marvel license, because game over, man.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like if Prime 1 did X-Men, that'd be great. But if Prime 1 did a third scale long shot, I have no need for that. Or a third scale Dazzler. I have no need for that. I need a quarter scale. I don't have a mansion. I'm just a regular guy. I need like a quarter scale Dazzler. I don't want a third scale Dazzler. I don't know. It depends how she's dressed.
Well, I think right isn't part of like why Prime 1 does the 1/3 is because there was no groove in the licensing for 1/3, so they carve their own groove in the community.
Right.
Correct. And the 1/4 Marvel license is on lockdown. Nobody's getting it unless Sideshow can't pay, and the only way they won't pay is if somebody pays more.
Yeah,
and that's if Marvel even lets anybody get a hit at it. Because as long as they're getting paid, why would they change? They're getting paid, dude. Why would they stop?
Well, I think the thing is, they see the market. I don't know if someone from Marvel is kind of paying attention to the statue market. They're like, wait a minute, there's only one company that's paying for our license, and let's bring up the pricing of the license up to the point where they have to go, hey, listen, we can't pay for this license anymore. It's too expensive. No one's buying our statues because we're upping the price of these statues. And then Marvel's like, hey, listen, you know what? Well, then that's it. You lose it, or you share it with other companies. I'm wondering.
Do you think that's why Sideshow has raised the prices so high? Maybe they are having to pay a higher price for the license.
Yeah, I feel like because if Marvel sees that, they're like, wait a minute, why have one company pay for our license? Why can't we have like 5, companies pay for our license?
That's the way it should have been from the beginning.
So I have a feeling I don't know. I could be totally wrong. I'm just making.
I think that's how licensing works. Like DC Collectibles can't come out, even though they're owned by Time Warner or whatever. They don't come out with a quarter scale version of their own characters because the license is already in Sideshow's hands, and the New 52s in Prime, so they can't come out and do their own quarter scale. As far as I know, they have to do 1/6 or strange 1/15 scales. All these weird scales I'm not familiar with, but I still like them. But I think it's divvied up. It's divvied up to people for reasons. I don't think there can't be 5 different people
I
doing
agree.
it.
I mean,
like
if you're
Iron Studios does movie-based quarter scale, right, and third scale.
Yeah,
is that true? Or it's mainly made for movie. Yeah. I don't understand how they were able to do that Punisher though. Someone could explain to me that.
I think they borrow the license from Marvel. Like from Sideshow. Sideshow allows them to make one piece in quarter scale. That could be part of why they're working together. Same like Prime 1. When Prime 1 made the partnership with Sideshow, they were like, look, we need to borrow your license. And they're like, you could borrow it for 1 piece. And they said 5 pieces. And they went 2 pieces. And they went 4 pieces. They went 3 pieces. Done. And you got the 3 Spider-Man pieces in quarter scale. And that was it. And maybe the same thing with Iron Studios. We're getting Punisher. A Daredevil just got sneaked. And what else? Weapon X got sneaked from Iron Studios.
Prime 1 also did the here's 52, right? In conjunction, that 1/4 scale.
Yeah, they're doing a quarter scale Batman.
That would be over with, I would assume.
Yeah.
That's one of the pieces that order.
Yeah,
it's New 52 though, right?
New 52, but it's 1/4 scale through. It's Prime 1, but it's through Sideshow in conjunction with
Sideshow. Yeah.
But I wonder, because Iron Studios came up with their own Vader and quarter scale, which was a hit, and they're releasing a Yoda quarter scale. So I wonder how that works too with Star Wars, because Star Wars is oh my gosh, a beloved license, So do you think they borrowed the license for that franchise too, or?
I don't know.
That's a good question because I never understand why Disney wouldn't let more than one company have it. But
yeah,
I think the company who's paying for the license wants exclusivity.
Yeah, exactly.
It wouldn't make sense. Like, it wouldn't make sense for me to buy the license if I'm not the only one who owns it. It's like, well, fine, go sell it to everybody else, and then I'll come and ask you last, and I'll give you peanuts for it, and I'm going to make 10,000 statues. I'm still going to kill.
Yeah.
But if you didn't buy the license, wouldn't you just be a custom?
But they would eventually go back and buy it. Like, why would they pay the big bucks up front? They have to pay millions of dollars for that license.
Yeah, I would expect it to be a set price because you're using my characters. So everybody has to pay X amount of dollars for a quarter scale. That's not how it would work.
Yeah, but
I think you said it. Like, it's got to be exclusive. Like, you're probably paying who knows how many millions to be able to put out all these Marvel statues. I mean, or just say Sideshow's doing DC. Prime 1 gets to do New 52 because no one cares really. So they're like, go ahead, it's okay. New 52. Go for it. Knock yourself out. Sideshow's like, no problem. We got this. We'll do classic DC or modernized DC, but you guys get New 52. I'm joking. Those pieces look great, but I'm just for an example. They're different. Hot Toys gets to do a quarter scale elevator because it moves. You know, you get to dress it, and play with it.
Go to bed with it. I mean, come on.
I guess it'd have to be a real hefty price
if you want.
Yeah, and I mean, if you go back to that interview that was on MCE where Randy Bowen was talking about his licensing, which was awesome. If you guys haven't seen that, go check that episode out. And he said that it's different per character too. Like that the licensor demands that you make more if it's Wolverine as opposed to like dupe. Like why you don't need to make 1,000 dupes. If you want to make dupes, sure, make 200 of them. But if you're making Wolverine, you better make 2,000 of them because that character is going to sell, and everyone that sells, I'm getting a % of.
Yeah,
you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we shouldn't be too mad at Sideshow over their ES numbers, huh?
Guys,
I bet it's a fortune, man. But it's
that's the thing
it's
is
crazy
there's
for
so much that we don't know. I mean, we assume that it's just like, oh, they're going to set the ES high so they can make as much money as possible. That's what a business wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of factors, like you said, that probably we don't know about.
Yeah, we're all speculating. You know, we could all be totally right or totally wrong. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I just, you know, wish that at some point the companies look out and say, hey, you know what, we got to care for our collectors because they're the ones that's driving our business. We can't price them out. And, you know, I feel like sometimes, you know, they are.
Cool Collected from the chat said he's right. They usually ask for exclusivity or at least a territory exclusivity, just like Asia or North America.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what we're seeing from some other companies out there that just have like an Asia license or officially licensed.
So what they pay would have to be a hefty amount because if I'm Disney, I would rather more companies make it. So you would have to be paying big money.
Right. Except Rodney, you and me are friends, bro. I known you 22 years. I've been buying your license. You're gonna let these guys come in and take my license? Come on, bro. Listen, let's say they're gonna offer you 20 million. I'll give you 21 million. Don't even talk to them.
Yeah, but
good.
But the thing is,
all right, 21 million, Rodney. We're
fine.
Yeah, but all right.
But you gotta make like 10,000.
Let me see in the deal. Here. So me, Chris, and a whole bunch of us are coming to you and offering you 22 million.
He's gonna tell me under the table. He's gonna say, "Yo, Tim, man, they're offering me 22 million. I'll give you 25. Just shut him down."
No, but the thing is, that's only you. And now me, Jeff, Chris, we're all coming to, you know, Rodney would.
All right, so here, I'll give you 25 million, and I'll give you 3 statues full. I'll make the statue. I'll produce them, and you get the whole run. How about that? How about you name the character?
I'm not answering PJ's phone calls.
You want Thanos? No problem.
Hey.
3,500 Thanoses. I'll sell them for $1,200. They'll be top tier, and you'll make 1.5 million off of that, right off the top.
Hey, secretary, run those numbers.
Ronnie,
Run those numbers.
whatever it is. If you buy from
Tell
me, I'll
PJ
say,
I'm out for lunch.
Ronnie, if you buy from me, I will say The Last Jedi is the best movie.
Oh, damn. Hey, that's a hard one. Because The Last Jedi is a masterpiece.
On that note, why don't we look at some pictures? What do you think, boys? All right.
Some backroom dealing.
Wheeling and dealing, man. It's wild, bro. There's a lot, man. I wish I could sit in one of those rooms and just hear all the talk. Like,
right.
Yeah, I mean, they must cover everything, bro. Like, I have pest control coming to my house, right? The service costs this much for the initial installment. Each month it's $36. They said, if you call us at any time, we'll come to your house. And I said, really? So if I just call you and I say, hey, man, I see an ant, you'll send somebody out? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, how many times can I do that per month? They're like, well, you don't want to abuse it. And I'm like, just answer the question. Is there like a limit of how many times I can call you each month? Because if you tell me I can only call you once as an emergency, then I don't want the service. So it's like everything is in fine print, bro. It's so sneaky, dude.
It is. Yeah. All right. So up front here we have Mr. Freeze. What do you guys think?
I actually really like it.
I like it, but then I saw the price and I'm like, whoa.
I mean, it's an okay statue. It's just okay. I mean, it isn't. It's not worth the price tag that's on it.
How much was it? I didn't.
$720.
Keep in mind that the Bane, who's a lot bigger, was $699.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean it's just it's a nice statue.
But
it's a nice statue. But to whoever said it earlier, I mean they've got a good point. Unless you need a quarter scale, why would you when there's a better third scale option out there from Prime One? I mean, what do you need this quarter scale one for $700 when you could spend, I don't know, a couple $100 more, or maybe $500-$600 more and get the third scale one that's way better quality.
Space is a big factor, especially
to
a lot of people everywhere. Honestly, I mean, and there's a lot of people who've been probably collecting the line for so long they don't have. I've got like every freaking Batman piece, which they've made like I think 35. Who knows how many PFs there are? So maybe they've been waiting for Mr. Freeze forever, and they don't have the space for the really awesome one. I think there's no debate which one's better. It's just.
And how many freezes are there?
Not many.
This is the only quarter scale freeze on the market.
See, I think that plays with Sideshow right now. I think that plays a lot with some of the prices, but I really don't think this price is that far off. I thought it was going to be $650. So yeah, it's $70
as well. I feel like I have to have this piece just because of my display. I've been asking for these pieces forever. And with that art print that came out not too long ago, I feel like that Rogues Gallery print, I feel like they are going to be doing these characters. So I'm excited about that. Yes. If you, I have this picture here. I'll come back to it here. I put this picture up in my group and I said, to be fair, it's a $700 difference.
Yeah.
Too. I do own the Prime One. It is amazing, but this premium format speaks to me as well. Yeah. It's so different, and as I said in my preview video, that there's been so many different versions of Freeze. Every suit and every comic book looks different, and so I like the suit doesn't bother me at all. I really like the colors. The base, I could really get rid of that bat cape. I wish it didn't have that on there. But
it's got a batarang in it. Ooh, is that
the exclusive?
In the ice.
The exclusive is Nora.
The exclusive is a light up Nora, which I
liked it.
I do like this, but it kind of ticks me off that it's not part of the statue.
Yeah.
Proximity exclusive.
Yeah, I just feel like that's real lazy. But I do like the lights up. It's cool. That's a neat feature.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm gonna have to get this. But is anybody gonna get it for sure?
Here's my question, and for the people that that have this line, and been collecting this line for a while and waiting for these pieces to show up. So what happens if they come out with a Two-Face and that's 750 or 800? What would
Who
you
are
guys
you
think?
asking?
I mean, I'm just asking in general. Like, do you accept the fact that now, like moving forward, like these pieces? I mean, because Mr. Freeze set the bar, and now it's either we get a Two-Face. That Two-Face is going to be epic, and
Sure.
most likely going to be either the same price or probably more. Now, as a collector, do you accept the price it being this way?
PJ, if it's Two-Face and I like it, I'm gonna get it. I thought prices were high 2 years ago. So this whole price panic, it kind of it's old to me.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, no, you're an exception because you're not collecting the line, Ronnie. I'm talking about like people are like, okay, now they're coming out with Two-Face. Now they're coming out with a Penguin. Now they're coming out with a Riddler. Now they're coming out with a Flash. And the prices are just constantly $750 to $800. Now, can you keep collecting the line, or at some point you're like, wait, I got to get rid of some of the stuff. I can't afford all these things, Because that's how I feel as a collector. If for me, I would love to collect everything, every character from a certain line. I would love to collect all the X-Men or all the Star Wars pieces. But the thing is, like, at some point, if they're a constant $800, I can't afford that.
I feel like this goes back to something that Thor says on Friday night, is that, patience is such a virtue. I'm somebody that normally likes to pre-order day one. But with some of these pieces, if you see a Two-Face that's $750, if you're willing to be patient, the statues, they're not holding their value right now.
Yeah. But
for the most part.
But it's almost like the housing market, right? Like, for I know friends of mine that bought their houses at like the highest peak. How's it go for the market itself overall in general? If you're buying a statue and then you buy a statue for $750 and now you're like, oh shoot, I'm running out of space or I'm running out of money. I gotta sell this statue for $550, not including shipping.
Yeah.
You're taking a hit. You're taking a big hit.
It's a renter's fee.
Yeah, that's a big fee.
And that's
definitely a different world than it was, 3-4 years ago, when you could probably, sell your regular and get almost your money back, maybe a little more. If you could go on eBay and sell it. I mean, I sold quite a bit just to buy comics and stuff, and that's gone now. You can't do that. You're going to take a hit.
Yeah,
you're not making money. There might be a few pieces out there that you are.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, you're always hoping to get your money back.
I take a hit every time I read a comic book. Every time I go to the new comic store or the comic store and buy new comics, I'm just throwing money away. I mean, I'm going to enjoy it, but it's not. 90% of them are just going to be trash. Like,
Yeah, I agree. And
but I still enjoy it. I think you still enjoy your collection, and for a little while, if you got to sell it, you got to sell it. But I mean, it sat there. You got to look at it and pet it if you needed to, or whatever went on. You could dust it with your makeup brush. And then you got
my brother.
Then you sell it, but you enjoyed it just like you enjoyed the movie you saw last week.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Of course, it's a lot more money we're talking about.
It goes back to the fact that you just have to be incredibly choosy now.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to be incredibly choosy and know the fact that if you're going to buy that statue, you have to love it enough to just keep it. You can't sell it.
And PJ, like, we've talked about focus here before too. If you are collecting this line, like I have been for the last 5 or 6 years, that if that's really where your passion is, then that's all you collect.
Yeah, which I agree.
You're not going to be able to collect the other pieces. That's why you have to have a focus.
Yeah.
And I think people are having to have more of a focus now more than ever.
Yeah, and it's almost like a wake up call, for a lot of collectors who've been like me. Like, I would love to collect some pieces that I grew up with. Like, I have the Predator and Red Sonja was just kind of like because she's hot. Yeah. But now I'm like, damn, I can't get that hot looking Red Sonja now, or whatever piece that comes out that looks really, hot. It's just I'm like, damn, I gotta keep my focus. And
yeah, you have to enjoy it through other collectors' eyes.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. I mean, there's so many pieces that I love that everybody has, and it's just like I just know I can't do it, or else I'll go crazy. And
I just wish more collectors. Tim, I'm coming over, baby.
You're coming over, guys. I gotta run. I'm getting the text messages, guys, but I'm gonna try to watch along. Thanks for
Okay.
having me on, Chris.
Bye. Have a good one.
Right,
You man.
Peace, everybody. Peace.
Congratulations.
Peace.
Love you, man.
Bye.
Thanks,
Congratulations.
bros. Bye.
So this one right here is the new animated series Joker. It was unveiled today. I really like this one, but I feel like the face looks nothing like the animated series.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this one?
Looked better when you turned it, but the first picture looked bad, I thought.
Well, let me show you the. I've got a close up here of the face.
What happened?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just really surprised. I mean, it's almost like it's animated series, but they don't really have the license to be able to do what the series looks like.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the base. Look at the flow of that. I love that. That's really good.
See, that angle looks fine to me.
Yeah, I think it's from the side. It looks fine.
Yeah.
But it's still different. I mean, it's not Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's just the profile. I love the fish.
When we first saw these pictures, my thought was how does this pass whatever approval with Sideshow? Like, you know, who's responsible at corporate for looking at the production or even the prototypes of that and saying, "Yep, that passes. That's what we're going to sell." How does that?
They have to have like some kind of night shift.
Yeah.
And they kind of staple job. I mean, like that Wolverine bust, you know, that last Wolverine bust. I don't think it's out yet, but
Yeah. Oh my God.
that's really cool. Then you got a Venom bust with class.
Oh, you know,
So
I
I'm
look
guessing
at,
there's a night shift that comes in every once in a while and makes bad decisions.
I look at a company like Diamond Select. Like all of their stuff looks just like the animated series.
Awesome. Yep.
You know, it's awesome, and it's like $60. You know, I don't understand. I mean, I know that Sideshow always likes to do their own take on things, and that's cool. I mean, that's artistic license.
Yep.
That's what maybe separates them from the other people. But I think if you're going to call it the animated series Joker, it should look like the animated series Joker.
Yeah. Or inspired by.
They're doing it from memory and haven't looked at the show.
Yeah. I think the Harley looks better.
Yeah, the Harley looks good.
Harley looks good.
Yeah, the Harley.
This is the switch out, which is kind of cool. I wish there was a second head sculpt instead. But
a good one.
Cool.
That's what I wasn't going to say that.
Okay, this was interesting this week. Have you guys seen this
This
picture?
was a tough one. Yeah.
So the top photo for those that are looking. This is the
New York
Green Lantern.
Yeah.
And they used some sort of clear resin or something. And then recently on Sideshow Live, I think it might have been, they showed the production one. And you can clearly see just the extreme amount of difference on the construct, right?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this?
It's
That
even
looks like a 99.
Bad change.
Yeah, it doesn't. You know, I have the original OG, you know, like the Green Lantern, the first one, and the lights up. And then I've got the Sinestro, where you could like, because I watched the Cartel guy there. Actually, that's the first video I ever saw of him. He was doing a Sinestro. I was like, well, I better buy this now. And then I put them next to each other, and you put a nice sweet light behind the Sinestro. It looks lit up and awesome. Now, does this new one here? It almost looks like it's cloudy. Now, I don't know if that's gonna have the same effect if you desire that. You know, put big light or some LEDs behind it. Is that gonna? You know what I mean? Is that going to shine like the rest of them do?
It's
I don't think so.
Not with the new material now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not clear at all. It's completely solid.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you're going to have
like,
options with that.
Even like there's like places where there were like little holes and stuff, which I'm assuming maybe it was done for breakage, but now it's all solid. There's no see-through areas.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is really shocking to me. Now, if this bottom photo was the prototype, you know, maybe people wouldn't freak out as much, but that's a really big change for the collector.
Yeah, I think no matter what, people would still freak out either way.
Yeah, I think you're right. But I was pretty shocked by the photo this week.
Well, which one looks more cheap?
The
Bottom
one.
Bottom one to me.
Bottom one.
Big time to me.
Yeah.
What happened to his head sculpt? The head sculpt looks off.
Well, head sculpt's a lot lighter too. Like maybe it's lighting, but it doesn't look like the greens are pretty.
And
close.
look at the detail loss right there where the drum is supposed to be. There's no gap right there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's the gap I was talking about. Like that, it's just like why did they take that out? Now it's just solid. I mean, it just looks like plastic. I know it's not, but it looks like it.
That's too bad because that's a really cool character. The animated series, Justice League of America. I mean, and Unlimited. I mean, that's an important guy. And most kids, when I used to go to cons, most kids were dressed up or know him as Green Lantern. They grew up with him more than Hal Jordan.
You see how that blast stream is even like way crooked? It peels upwards instead of coming straight back towards
right
him.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't notice that. Wow. Yeah, that bottom one looks so cheap.
On the show, he dropped it. Could it have gotten messed up when he dropped it?
This almost looked like a plastic cap that goes on top.
It is. It fell off during the show.
Really?
Yeah, it's a cap. It just goes in the gun.
That's crazy.
That's horrible, man.
This one had some controversy this week. This is Baroness. No, I don't know what happened to this face, but
it's nothing like their idea.
It's not. The render was really good.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you ordered this, anyone, but I'm just.
Do you guys even feel like this statue was even needed to begin with?
Yeah.
No.
This is pretty
I
hot,
mean,
guys.
PCS, they did Stone Shadow and Snake Eyes, and I guess they're trying to make a go at some G.I. Joe stuff.
Is Prime One still making any G.I. Joe stuff, or are they done?
Yeah, they're still making it.
They're still making. They have Snake Eyes should be coming out. I don't know what. Yeah.
And there's a quarter scale, right?
That's a quarter scale, and that looks good.
What do you guys think looks better, this one or the OG Sideshow one?
Oh, definitely
the Sideshow, the old one. Yeah.
No matter, they made like the black one and the blue one and a red one. Is that right?
Yeah.
3 of them?
I think so. Yeah. I think the exclusive head looks a little bit better. But
those glasses are painted like shit on there, man. You see that? Fuck, man.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Damn, I like the honesty.
Well, I guess you can only imagine what the prototype or the final one will look like in hand.
So now is this PCS through Sideshow or is this straight Sideshow?
Yes.
Okay.
PCS.
Yeah.
I didn't think PCS is still making any statues, but
guess so.
I don't know.
I guess that's their animated stuff, right? They're trying to do like Transformers, like an animated vibe, and that's their G.I. Joe animated stuff.
Yeah.
Must be.
Yeah.
It's just
the Gladiator Hulk. What do you guys think of this one? Daniel, Daniel, no, right?
Yeah,
I love the look.
I love the look. Yep, I'm with Ronnie on that one. I love the look, but damn, 1,500. I could buy that Ash Williams.
15. You added 100, didn't you?
Oh, sorry, 14.
It's bad enough, PJ.
Yeah, you can buy 2 of the OGs. You can get the King and the Gladiator for that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You said you get one Mr. Freeze from 1/3 scale from Prime One.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say I could pick up that Ash Williams that I've been looking at, the Evil Dead.
Oh yeah.
Which one do you guys think
with
looks
the possessed
better?
head?
Which one do you guys think looks better, the OG or this one?
I actually like this one a little bit more, only because I like the action. It kind of represents, but I always loved the original one. And if we're talking about the prices, if I got the original one, I'm not gonna look at this one when they announce 1,400.
And you know what? It's not like you would think like, okay, for that price, it has to be like the best piece. I still think that OG Hulk still holds up, man.
Good, man.
Yeah, it's really good.
That was like
Wait, don't you have that, Centauri?
Yeah, I got it back there.
Oh yeah,
I think that's one of the best pieces Sideshow has made, man. That's always been in my top 5.
Yeah, man.
I sold mine though a while back. I want to get it back.
It's great, man. You could pick that shield up, and you can go to a Renaissance fair and you'd be fine. Like, you just walk around, people like give you high fives, and they just be like, "Yeah, me and you, buddy."
I like the face the most out of this whole statue right here.
Yeah, and here's the exclusive face, but like the level of detail, without question, Daniel did an amazing job. And that price is kind of insane to me. I mean, I know a lot of collectors are pretty put off right now.
And I almost wish Sideshow, and I know they never will, but have an office that explains some of their pricing. So when they have a statue like this and its price, explain why.
Yeah,
and then we go with it or we don't. But
I've said that for years. I feel like if there was more transparency, collectors would be a lot more lenient on them.
Yeah.
of course, we wouldn't be able to have these shows.
Right, to guess.
I would have liked this screaming portrait to have the helmet instead of the other way around.
Yeah, I agree.
It would have made much more sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the
screen that piece looks more like it's worth the money than Juggernaut does for me. I don't know why. It just looks like there's more going on. They got this big squid crazy base. I mean, it almost looks like they're having sex if you look at it from a squid angle.
Bending the squid over. Riding the squid.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Can you put those two heads together again? I gotta see what.
Like he's like, go to sleep. Get it.
Well, this one might be some interest from some of the people in the gallery. I know, especially Jeff or maybe Dan here. These are the Iron Studio 1/4 scale from Endgame.
Yeah. Damn.
I want that Thanos, man. That Thanos.
So is this them working with Sideshow?
No, that's just Iron Studios, man. Yeah.
So, but this is Marvel stuff, right? So
I think because it's movie, Ronnie.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So gotcha.
Yeah.
But it does look good.
Oh,
Jeff, you just got the other Thanos from Iron Studio, and I know you love it. How do you rank that one compared to this one?
If I hadn't got this one, I'd be tempted.
Thanos made another Iron Studios. Iron Studios made another Thanos.
Yeah. Infinity War one, right?
Infinity War.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Who has that one? PJ or Rodney?
Jeff.
Jeff has it.
Jeff.
Yeah, it's behind him. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks nice.
It's neat.
It's straight from the movie.
Yeah, that is, Iron Studios, man. Seriously, don't sleep on that company, man. They're
making noise.
They're coming around.
They said Spider-Man. What? Stop talking about Spider-Man because they've done a whole bunch of good stuff since then.
Head sculpture looking good here. Like here's Captain America.
Yeah.
On the.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, man.
RDJ, man.
Good, man.
Yeah.
These are really tempting.
Yeah, they look good.
They're another one, by the way, that the skin looks really good. If you look at their face sculpts up close and whatnot, that they don't. I don't know. They don't look dead.
Yeah, it doesn't look flat.
Right. I agree.
All right.
They use translucent resin also, I wonder.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, do you think maybe Sideshow is just too big? Like maybe the smaller companies are able to care more and go visit the factories and do all that little stuff.
They have to prove themselves.
Yeah. And maybe Sideshow's just like so big. It's
like almost complacent a little bit. Where
a little bit. They get
Oh.
the sculptors, but then as far as
I mean, comparing this to that Gal Gadot Wonder Woman that they released. Oh my god!
This is the Thanos life-size bust from Queen Studio. This is a licensed piece. I've talked about this a little bit. I am really considering breaking my rule for this piece.
Ooh. That's news.
I've talked a little bit about it on my channel that I've kind of gone away from movie pieces because the movie pieces are just not really speaking to me in terms of the statues, but the busts are. And I'm contemplating having a little bust section that are not just Batman related. But this Thanos I really like.
It's crazy.
It'd be nice in like a theater room.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's what I talked to my wife about. I said, even if we have a different house or we have a home theater of some sort, I'm like, how cool would this be with a poster behind it? We're having 2 or 3 of these busts because our whole family loves Marvel. We love Batman, we love geeky stuff, but this thing is pretty insane. Look at the size of it.
God, even the back of it. Wow.
Yeah, so much detail.
Yeah, if you're going to break your rule, this is a piece worth doing it for.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people have told me this week. I'm like, well, that makes me feel a little bit better. It's like
built-in lights.
Yeah, it's got 4 lights down below.
Too.
It's got I don't know if the picture has it. It's got the official Endgame logo up front with Marvel.
Yeah.
But
How do you guys feel about those logos in the front though? Do you guys care for it, or you wish it wasn't there?
I wish it wasn't there.
Me too.
Yeah, it was.
I don't mind the logos, man.
I mean, that's what I liked about the half scale Heath Ledger that I had, and the Prime One pieces. They had those little logo things that you could put on the front or take off.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that'd be nice. Attachable.
Yeah, I maybe you can take that off. I don't know, but I'm hopeful that you can. There's Thanos. It seems like everybody agrees that it's just amazing.
Yeah,
Well, he's not cheap either, Chris. Though that's got a pretty hefty price tag.
It is expensive. All these busts are very expensive.
It's
I
like
do have.
2.5.
Yeah, it's I think 2.2. I think I'd be able to, maybe get it a little cheaper. I'm not sure, but I don't know.
I wonder if you had to sell that, what it would sell for after though.
I don't know.
Lose money.
And the reason I'm interested in these is like I've been in kind of a place where I've been kind of, I don't know, burned out a little bit with the hobby. Maybe too many pieces and the cost and the room and everything else. But ever since I've been seeing these busts, it kind of has excited me again.
You know what actually will get you out of burnout the best is to redesign your whole room.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'll really get you out of burnout, man.
Yeah, I can see that. There's the size again, kind of like.
Dang.
How big he is. I mean, I don't even know if that's like truly life size. It feels like it might even be small.
Yeah.
For life size, but it's still amazing.
Wow.
There's a little DC piece that I thought was that went up for pre-order this last week. I thought it was pretty cool.
Damn, that looks good.
Okay.
Really affordable. It's a small piece, but if you love the Batman Who Laughs and can't get that awesome Prime One piece, I thought this is a pretty cool.
Is it PVC?
Yeah, DC Collectibles.
No, it's not PVC though. It's resin.
Oh, it's resin?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, it's resin.
Wow.
So what is it, like 150, 200?
I don't even think
Probably
it was
150.
Yeah, I think it might have been 150.
Wow, that is sick. Yeah.
But I thought it was a pretty sweet looking piece.
Yeah.
Pretty good. It's just like a cool art. They do a good job of that, like transparent. The art from to the skull.
Yeah.
They do a good job. Sometimes. That's a good example.
Damn, that looks good.
I got a couple more pictures. This is just released today. This is the Mara from X-Men Studios.
Is she holding Aquaman's balls in her hand?
They look awfully squishy. I don't know. It's pretty funny, but I love the rays down below. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think this is going to be XM's new bread and butter.
Are those the eels from The Little Mermaid?
That's right. There's Ursula.
Yeah.
Does anybody know the names of those guys?
No.
Oh, no.
I can tell you, it's Flotsam and Jetsam.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
Flotsam and Jetsam. Wow.
That's the name of Ursula's eels. I'm a pretty big Disney nerd. This is another XM piece. This is the samurai part or the line. This is that Harley Quinn. I don't know if you guys have seen much of this.
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a fan of the samurai line, but I like it. I like this one. It looks
I like
good.
her too, but I don't love the moped.
Yeah.
She is sitting on the moped. Okay.
Yeah.
She should have been sitting in like a rickshaw. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah, that would have been. I'm assuming they
that
did
would have
this.
been great, man.
Yeah,
But do they have rickshaws in Japan though, or is that just like a Thailand?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Is there another portrait for her? Because this really doesn't feel like. Is there another portrait for her? Or no?
I have not seen one. I'm sure that there's going to be some different switch outs because all the other pieces have. I'm assuming that that this one in particular was made just to pair up nicely with the Catwoman.
Oh yeah.
With that motorcycle,
Chris, someone in the group on the Facebook group posted a picture saying that they preferred the previous. I don't know if it was just a ZBrush design or what, but there was a previous design to that piece where she looked completely different, like just long, straight hair. And do you remember seeing that picture?
I feel like I do. The one that sticks out the most is the Joker. I know the Joker has been changed a billion times.
Yeah.
With like
stuff.
dummy or something, and like sticks or something. I can't remember. But I don't remember the Harley offhand. But it seems like a lot of these have really, because I mean they were previewed maybe 2 years ago.
Right.
Some of them. So I would imagine that a lot of them have gone through a lot of changes, but
yeah,
I don't know. Well, those are the pictures this week, and that leads us now to our in-game discussion. So if you have not seen Avengers Endgame, you might want to skip this section. So this is your big warning, because we are going to talk about it since we've all seen it, except for Stir Fry. Stir Fry, you can stick around if you want.
No. You're not gonna take this away from me.
Yeah.
I
gotta go though. Thank you for having me on, Chris. It's awesome. It's cool seeing Cartel and PJ and the rest of you, Jeff. That's an awesome statue behind you.
Yeah.
Guys, bye, everybody.
All
Good
right,
night, T-Bone.
Good
guys.
Good night.
Later.
And before we actually start, I wanted, Dan, you were showing me part of your collection. I know, Jeff, you would probably want to see this as well. But do you want to show your little corner there? Show your marble?
Yeah, I'll show you the corner.
Let me select you here. There we go.
Tilt this the right way. So, yeah, I've got
nice
Batman, but like the MCU stuff, the one piece that I'm missing is, and I almost pulled the trigger. There's one that's been sitting on eBay for a while. Is the Iron Man Mark 1.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that's a great piece.
I had that thing in my hands 3 years ago. I could have bought it for $1,200, and I regret not buying it now because you can't find it for, it seems like, under about $1,700 or $1,800.
Wow.
Crazy.
For the EX, the EX has the Tony Stark, the open mask, and so that's the one that I want for that corner. I really love Sideshow. Did the partnership with Adi Granoff, who's one of my favorite artists. Did a lot of the keyframe designs for the first movie, and got those back there. And Ryan Meinerding, some of his artwork is behind the Hulk and Gentle Giant piece up there. But yeah, I love those pieces, and I feel like I need a Thanos to go in there. They're dying.
In-game Thanos.
Yeah,
between the two.
Yep.
What would you do for a Thor? Or would you go with the new PF or?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's just not movie. Everything in there is all movie, so I'm not sure he'd fit. So
I would hang on. Iron Studios responded on Instagram that there is a in-game Thor coming. They just can't do it.
That's going to be interesting.
I'd rather have the Infinity War Thor.
Well, I think he'll look like he did at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
He's not going to look like Lebowski Thor.
Yeah.
You got to switch out bathrobe or something.
Yeah.
Jeff, I'm highlighting you too because maybe not everybody has seen your Thanos back there, your new Iron Studio. Jeff did a live unboxing on my channel last week, and this thing is just phenomenal. I absolutely love it. I love the light up feature.
Straight out the movie. That's
fantastic.
Here's the other head sculpt.
That's awesome.
Yeah, wow.
So cool.
Really good.
Yeah, I just love that whole line that Jeff has back there. Our studios really killed it with that Civil War and Infinity War line.
Yeah,
I missed out on that Mark 46, which I kind of wish I didn't miss out on it because I love the lighter features on that. If Jeff could turn it on.
So cool. So Jeff, too, with seeing these new pieces that Iron Studios is doing.
Wow! I didn't know it put up that much. Wow!
I didn't either. That is fantastic.
22 LED lights.
Wow, that's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, I remember
One button. That's great. They learned from Vader.
3 AA batteries.
Thing's awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah, because I remember when Jeff got it last year, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
And he turned the lights off and turned all the lights on. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity.
So Jeff, all these pieces that you have on your display, and Dan, you had similar pieces. Most of them are all action poses, but the new Iron Studios pieces from Endgame are all more museum poses.
Yeah.
Does that make you not want to get them because they are more stagnant, or could you see yourself mixing and matching with these?
Yeah, now that I've seen the Endgame piece, it makes me want the one that Jeff's got behind it. I think it fits a little better.
Yeah.
But
I'm kind of happy that I ended up with this one. I was a little salty at first, but I think he goes better with these guys
Agree.
than the one just standing still.
Yeah.
Now I think what they're going to do is it's going to be that scene where they come out of the rubble of the building and it's the three of them facing off against Thanos.
Yeah.
That'll be sick. Yeah.
Awesome.
Great setup, Jeff. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I
Yeah.
absolutely love that setup.
Very heavy.
Yeah.
All right, well let's get into Endgame a little bit. What do you guys think?
Loved it. I missed the first hour the first time I saw it because I fell asleep. But I fell asleep the first hour. So once I woke up, second and third hour were amazing, especially third hour, and then I saw it a second time. So
That's impressive, man. How do you manage to fall asleep during the first hour?
the first hour seems a little slow, but I realized so. Some of the emotions people had after seeing it, I didn't have because I missed that first hour. Yep. So when I saw it, because I'm like, we're in spoiler stuff, right? We can do that.
Now, again, everybody, this is a spoiler section for Endgame.
Yeah. So at the end, y'all been warned because I'm about to give a spoiler.
That's right.
So at the end, I'm like, who the hell is that girl? That little kid? Yeah. Because I missed the whole first hour when he was like, I got my family. I don't want to. So the impact of it didn't get me as much as the second time after seeing him with his family. And like, he really didn't want to do it, but he goes and does it anyway. So then it was like, oh, yeah, that really hurt. Mm-hmm. And, but yeah, I loved it. It's my second favorite of the Marvel movies. Winter Soldier is still my number one.
I thought you were going to say Thor Ragnarok.
We all know that ain't happening. No, that's not even in the top 20. Because how many movies are there? There are like 22 of them?
Yeah, 22.
Yeah, so it's not in the top 21.
See, I loved Ragnarok. That made me love the Thor character even more.
Yeah,
I like Ragnarok. I did.
I like Ragnarok a lot.
I thought the first two Thor movies put me to sleep.
Yeah, me too. I like the first two.
Not an interesting character.
Well, and Ragnarok did such a good job of bridging that gap with Guardians to make it fit with Guardians, with that sense of humor, it just in the colors and everything else and the music. It made sense to me that's how they bridged the gap, and I thought they did a good job with that.
Yeah,
because they know that Thor. Because if you sometimes if you read the comic books, it's their language is totally different. It's like and to translate that to a movie, and that's why I forgot the director of the first Thor.
Branagh.
Yeah, and the reason why he was hired is because of that
Shakespeare kind of background.
Yeah. So, but they kind of figured they're not drawing the general crowd to that character, so that's why they made it a more funny, funny and colorful movie, which Rodney does not like. But
yeah, it was a big disconnect with me.
Yeah, but I did like it. But in terms of Endgame, and I'm sorry, I think I'm probably going to be like the only one here. I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was as good as Infinity War.
I agree with you, actually.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have said that they really feel that same way.
Yeah, and I'm not sure it's because they teased a lot in the trailer about the quantum realm, and we all know that they're going to go back in time. And I think they kind of dwelled in that time travel thing a little bit too much. I felt that they could have cut maybe like the first half hour about like explaining the time travel thing and what they're going to do instead of just kind of doing it. And,
I don't know. I felt like there were better moments in Endgame, but Infinity War was a better movie overall in terms of how it put together and just its flow.
Yeah, pacing.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, the moment, like what Lauren said, the moments are greater. When the moments are there, it's absolutely the best, especially towards the end where I almost cried. Well, it got a little
I did cry. I'm not gonna lie. I was.
Black Widow made me cry.
Yeah.
Iron Man made me cry. Him seeing Spider-Man. Yeah.
Actually, what got me the worst was that whatever that lily pad or surfboard or whatever with the proof that Tony has a heart. Yeah.
Wow.
First Iron Man.
Like,
Yeah, I mean,
what got me the second time was Thor talking to his mother. And the first time I saw it, it didn't get me as much. But the second time, I had like tears running.
Yeah,
because it was. I thought, this is where where he turned around.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, one thing that bothered me was there was this one big guy in the movie theater, loud as hell. I was telling everyone in open mic last week. He was like laughing. Oh my god! Yeah. And he was like the loudest crier in the movie theater. I'm like, oh my gosh, what the hell's? But anyway, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still love the movie. I think it's in my top 3 Marvel movies of all time. But I felt that they could have just kind of left out that whole explaining of the time travel thing. I didn't like Hulk. I mean, even though some people are like, "Oh, that's Professor Hulk," which is fine, but I kind of wish that it was the Hulk.
I didn't like his look near as much in this one. I feel like he was too cartoony looking for some reason. I don't know why, or I don't know.
Some called him Shrek, and but man, Thanos kicked butt. Even though he got his ass whooped, but
so evil they had to kill him twice.
Yeah.
What'd you think about that first? In the first 10 minutes, it's like, oh, Thanos is dead already. Like, whoa. That was pretty shocking.
I was kind of disappointed. I'm like, what the hell? That's it? He didn't give up a fight. I mean, damn.
Yeah, my first thought was like, they're going in a really weird direction with this now. But it all made sense to me, anyway.
Yeah, because I guess he used the gauntlet right before, and then that like crippled him a little bit. So
well, he knew what he thought what he had done was final. There was no way for them to turn it around. He thought so. Why fight it?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And the fact that Captain Marvel wasn't in there a lot. See, I was okay with the Captain Marvel movie, but it's a good thing she wasn't in this movie a lot because I think between her and Scarlet Witch, they probably could have handled the whole thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like, I don't know if you guys knew this, but all of her scenes they filmed before they made Captain Marvel.
Okay.
So like there was a lot of people, like on the trailer and stuff where she's talking to Thor and the hammer goes by her hair and she kind of like smiles at him. Everybody was like, well, why does she look so different? She's got makeup on, and that's not the way she was in the movie. Well, they filmed all of that before they ever made Captain Marvel. So I feel like probably some of her absence was Disney not knowing if that film would do well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because it was all filmed prior. So it's smart on Disney's part, but, obviously it did well at the box office.
All I gotta say, she made some big noise, and then she got punched by Thanos, and that was it.
Oh, the head, what is it? Yeah, he took the gem out and hit her.
Which stone was the purple one?
The blue one or purple one? Yeah.
The purple one. The purple one.
But the only thing that confused me at the end was like why Gamora left. Did you guys pick up on that she wasn't at the funeral? She was gone.
She wasn't there anymore.
Yeah, I'm assuming it sets up the next Guardians. With Star-Lord trying to win her back.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. But I thought that was odd that she was the only one that wasn't there. She just took off.
Maybe she's still finding herself. She feels like she did the right thing, helping get rid of Thanos, but she's not sure who are these new people.
Yeah, I thought maybe they would at least say why she wasn't there, or hey, like Gamora took off because she didn't know any of these people, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But I did think that was a little bit odd. And there was that moment where it was that kid standing maybe next to, God, who was he standing next to? I didn't realize that was the kid from Iron Man 3.
Oh, yeah.
I was wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was all,
the guy near the, I was wondering who that was too.
Up by the house somewhere.
Okay, so the scene where they all come back, and Black Panther and all of them are chanting. I know they weren't saying this, but both times seeing the movie, I'm thinking they're saying he gonna pay or something like that. I have no idea what they were actually saying, but all I'm thinking, are they saying he gonna pay?
He gonna pay.
Yeah, that is true. He gonna pay.
I was like, it fits, but what is it? What are they really saying?
I thought it was Bombay or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it was something like that, but I like he gonna pay better.
Yeah.
What was the biggest reaction in the theater? For me, at our theater, the biggest reaction by far was when Black Panther came back on screen.
Okay.
I don't know if that was like that. Did you guys have reactions in your theater?
It was that one and the Cap with the hammer part.
Yeah,
it was kind of close between those two.
The hammer was the biggest reaction of both times I've seen it.
I knew it.
That was so sweet.
That was great. That was a cool payoff there. That was
I like the. What I was gonna say is that like the whole time when Thor had both Stormbreaker and Mjolnir or
meow meow
meow. I was like, wow, that's the Thor premium format. That's
right.
Yeah.
People were like kind of crapping on it before, like, oh, he would never have two hammers or whatever. And then here he comes on Endgame with like both Stormbreaker and Mjolnir or meow.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool when they had Falcon talking to Cap in his earpiece, like it was coming over the radio with the on your left.
Yeah, right.
That's cool.
So what did you guys think about them passing the torch to Falcon as opposed to Bucky Barnes? That was really shocking to me because I really thought it was going to be Bucky.
Well, Falcon doesn't have super soldier serum.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
how's he going to run? I don't know how he could do the job.
Yeah,
not sure. I mean, they do it in the comics at some point. I mean, most recently, I don't know, a year or two ago, it was Falcon.
Is he Falcon with the shield or is he full out Cap?
I think he's full out Cap.
The shield and wings.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the shield and the wings. So I don't.
Is he still the current version of Cap, or have they moved on?
I think they brought back Cap.
Yeah. They had
Ooh, B Alex said something interesting. Do you think when Tony did the snap, it got rid of Gamora because she was her heart had changed, but she came here with Thanos. So do you think it could have been like, could she be gone?
That's maybe.
I don't know.
It didn't show her. Didn't show her. So
right.
The scan thing that
he was searching.
And it never pinpointed her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Huh, that's interesting. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, and see, here's the problem. Like the thing with time travel, and I always had a problem with, not with the movies, but just in general when people try to do a time travel movie. It's just that like I know they changed the rules a bit for this movie. Like if you go back and killed yourself, like you won't disappear. It will just create a new timeline, and I don't know.
I don't like that.
I don't like that. It's just I felt like that part. That's why I didn't like the beginning part. It was just too much trying to think for a movie. Like, oh,
I think that they were smart saying, like mentioning Back to the Future, or mentioning those. I thought that was smart on their part because I think most people when they think of time travel, they think of Back to the Future and how that timeline, what you do in the past, would most certainly affect your future. So I think that's where the disconnect is because it's really far-reaching. I think that it splits all these timelines. I get it that they had to do this maybe for the movie, and I think that's why they spent so much time trying to explain it because it's out there. It's different than anything else.
Yeah, but I think because now like it raises a lot of questions about when Cap goes back in time. 'How's that work out? Like, did he's like for the Soul Stone? Was he able to? Like, did he have enough time? 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 Like, did he have enoug like how the hell did he return a soul stone? He has to sacrifice somebody, or like what happens? I don't know. Like
I would like to have seen the interaction with him and Red Skull.
Yeah.
In that stone. And does that mean Black Widow can come back because you did a 30-day exchange?
Hey, I want my people back. Gamora and
I want Loki back.
Loki's back.
I want Black Widow, damn it.
He wouldn't have gone through all of the things that Ragnarok Loki had gone through. And so probably, I mean, it's going to be more of the villain type Loki. This is right after they captured him and he tried to take over Earth.
Yeah.
So,
but are you saying Loki's back alive?
Yeah, but the thing is, so here's
the series coming on Disney Plus.
Yeah, so here's what I'm thinking.
That was like a prequel or something.
I don't know, but
I think this is what's happening is that since I think the Ancient One was kind of explaining to Hulk is that like if you affect something, it creates a different timeline now. So now there is a different timeline where Loki is still, he got away in that timeline and creates a whole different kind of like storyline for him.
I completely missed that.
This is just a different way to do what DC does with the 52, universes.
Earth 29 or all of that.
Do you think that's going to confuse the general audiences, though?
It is.
If they start doing what like Ultimates, because that's a different timeline too, right?
Yeah.
If they start doing all that, yes, it will.
Agree.
Yeah. And I think that's what captured a lot of people that weren't following the comic books was the simplicity of the storyline. Now, if you get into all these different timelines and different different universes and stuff like that, I think you're gonna lose the general audience to that unless they make it. It's Marvel, so I'm sure they'll find a way. And supposedly the next movie, Spider-Man: Far From Home, is the end of the phase of the recent phase.
Yeah, that's phase 4.
Phase 4, and
it takes place like they say minutes after the end of Endgame.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see how that plays out and the future of Spider-Man because they only have Spider-Man for a couple movies, and what's
Do they just have 2 more left?
Yeah, I think so.
A deal.
Yeah,
they're doing a bunch of sequels and Shang-Chi or somebody. There's like 6 different Marvel movies they have coming.
Yeah.
Well, and then I know that now that Disney owns the X-Men, it'll be interesting to see how they're eventually incorporated. Although everything I read said it's going to be way down the line, but I don't know. Will we see an X-Men versus Avengers or something like that? Sure.
That would be sick.
Absolutely, we will.
I would actually like to see them do X-Men versus Inhumans, even though that TV show sucked. But the story in the books is great.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that series.
Yeah. So before we couldn't call like Scarlet Witch a mutant. You would refer to her as enhanced.
Mm-hmm.
So now she's can we call her a mutant now?
I want to read this. Spider-Man 616 brought up a good point here. He said the thing that really messed up was the 5-year gap. Spider-Man came back to school and everybody else was still the same age as him, even though 5 years had passed.
Very true.
Right. Yeah.
That was the first thing my wife and I went to go see it. That was one of the first things she said. It's like, what about the 5? Like, why is everybody the same age?
Well, is it though, or were those just kids who all disappeared and now they came back as the same age and now they have to go back to school?
That's a good point, Lawrence.
That could be. I bet that's right.
Yeah, they're all in different grades.
16, 17-year-old kids when they disappeared. They came back as 16, 17-year-old kids. They still got to go back to school.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I didn't like about it. Like, you can't just. So, I felt like it touched a little bit on sort of the aftermath of Infinity War and very sparingly, right? But then all of a sudden to have all of these people reappear 5 years later. What about the people who had moved on? Let's say, I don't know, you're married and 2 years later, you met someone else who helped you get through it, and they went through the same thing, and now, everybody's back. What the hell do you do there, right?
Yeah.
Or, just anything like that, where there were, I don't know, just standard work crews for things. Companies. All of a sudden, your workforce is back, and what do you do there? And what about? I don't know. There's just so many other applications for having people disappear and then reappear, and it just didn't get touched on at all. And I think it would be interesting to kind of dive into that a little bit and the aftermath of that.
Well, I think somebody just brought Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's starting here maybe in a week. I don't know if you guys watched that or not, but I'm anxious to see how maybe they address some of that of like what was going on with them during that time, and how things got changed. But I don't know, it's all very interesting. But you bring up some really good points there, Lawrence, about what those people went through during those times. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I want to give a quick shout out to Jim Mint. Jim Mint's in the house.
Jim.
Yo, Jim.
Hope you're doing well, Steven. But I don't know. What do you guys give the movie? Do you give it out of 10? What'd you say?
8.5 to a 9.
Yeah, I'm with Ron. I'm with Ron on that one.
8.5 to 9 seems reasonable.
Yeah.
I'd give it higher. I think 9.5. I don't know. It pulled on a lot more emotional strings. It was like a roller coaster, I don't know. I give it a 9.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give it a 9.5 as well. I thought it was really well done. It made me excited to be in that theater. It's just I didn't leave my seat once. Previews were 25 minutes long, so I was there 3 hours 45 minutes, so just like you guys, and didn't get up once, and I was glued to my seat. Rodney, I could see why maybe the first hour was a little slow for you, but I even thought that first hour was cool because I knew that it was going to build on itself.
Yeah.
But even like we got to that final hour, I'm like, oh my god, is this thing still going? Like holy man, we got another fight here going. I thought it was going to be over, but
that last hour was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
Have any of you guys ever been in a 4D theater?
No, I've never been. I heard about it.
So what do they do?
Yeah, so you're sitting in a chair and it moves in every dimension, right? So it's like being on a roller coaster seat. And then if there's smoke in the scene, they're blowing smoke into the theater, and there's lights.
Oh my god, that'd be wild.
If it's snowing on the screen, it's snowing in the theater, and
that is awesome.
What?
No, thank you.
It's crazy. I'm going for the first time this coming Sunday. I'm going to see Endgame in 4D. So
where are you located at?
I'm in the Boston area.
Boston? That's awesome. That's really
that's gonna be wow.
It should be pretty cool. And then I haven't gotten tickets to. There's another theater that I've heard about. I just heard about that opened up about a half hour from that one, where it's got a 270-degree screen.
What?
Yep. And
I've been in one of those. Hall H in San Diego. They have
exactly. That's exactly right. So you know how in Hall H they kind of take the main movie footage, which is shot in IMAX, and they kind of extrapolate out for the sides.
Yeah.
Kind of, what the scenery is, and they do that supposedly in this one as well. And it's also 4D. So.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
So
I can't
cool.
really imagine.
You like being in the movie.
Yeah, I feel that way. That's for sure.
So now, am I the only one that liked Endgame more than Infinity War?
No, I did, Rod. I'm with you.
Okay.
I would agree as well. I feel like we said earlier, there's moments that are better in Endgame, but I think I don't know.
I mean, for me, I'm kind of nitpicking, and probably because I just feel like with time travel, you have to be on like your A+ game to.
I hear you.
And I think that's what just kind of took me away from it. It was like the first hour. I think someone, I don't know, in one of the groups said that they could have like maybe the first like 15 to 20 minutes could have been part of Infinity War, and then continued it from there. You know what I'm saying? Like just a little bit of where things got killed. Well, then again, they're killing Thanos would have been like.
They could not have done Infinity War any differently. Because it ended perfectly.
Yeah. I was gonna say it ended perfectly,
and that was it.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about there not being any end credit scenes?
I I understand it. I felt a little gypped at first.
Yeah.
But
I did
what
too.
they did with the characters at the end, I did like that. That was a nice, classy touch with the signatures and some of their scenes and the silhouettes. That was a nice, classy touch. But like a goof, I stayed there all the way to the end the first time, and everybody's like, "Really, really?"
Yeah, and actually, that clanking is actually Iron Man. In the first movie, remember he was building his first Iron Man suit? Yeah, that was him. So that was kind of nice, even though it was.
Do you think there'll be end credits again, starting with the Spider-Man movie?
If there is, I feel that it's gonna be geared towards more Spider-Man than the actual Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
I feel like Spider-Man in its own can be its own universe because there's so many like bad guys and different universes and stuff like that. So with the popularity of Spider-Verse, I feel like having multiple now they introduced time travel and multiple like timelines and universes. I feel that Spider-Man can go in that direction.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they build up to a next big, group movie, so they bring back the end scenes to build up to something else. That wouldn't surprise me.
Well, there's supposed to be an Avengers 4, right? Or 5 or whatever it is. I thought there's supposed to be another one down the road.
I don't know. I know, of course, Black Panther 2. They're still doing Black Widow, the Spider-Man.
Is that a prequel Black Widow, or she's not going to be?
I'm assuming so. Which, damn it, I miss her.
I don't understand why they would do that.
Yeah, I heard it was a prequel.
She's not that old. I mean, she's in her early 30s.
Yeah. I mean, I'd watch an origin story for Black Widow.
Yeah.
Like, she's one of the characters I like. I like the street level ones. So
it should have been done 6 years ago, though.
I know it should have been.
Yeah, should have.
I don't know why they wouldn't have, unless they just didn't have faith that she could carry the movie.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Taskmaster's supposed to be the villain in that movie.
In the Black Widow movie?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
But I think the next Avengers movie, they were saying Kevin Feige was that it's going to be 60% female. And I think they kind of like hinted it at one of the scenes where they all kind of gathered up.
Captain Marvel,
you had Scarlet Witch, you got, so they were saying that it's going to be mostly women in the next.
Well, they definitely made that statement, with the scene with all the women, gathered together to fight. And I thought that was pretty awesome. I know my wife really liked that scene. So I think that even some of the comments that Brie Larson has made recently, I feel like that is the way they're going to go here soon.
Yeah.
I felt like that was kind of a tribute back to the Black Widow backing up Scarlet Witch and Okoye backing her up in Infinity War when she told Proxima Midnight she's not alone.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's good point.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's a good point.
That is,
because even though she wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
I had a question I read somewhere. So all the memes here this last week. I love you 3000. I was told or heard that actually is the 3000 number is actually put in there because all the movies combined was 3000 minutes. Have you guys heard that at all?
I hadn't heard that. No.
Oh, that's pretty cool though. That's true.
I want to go back and count now because I'm like, that's really neat if they did that on purpose just for that point. Say this is 22 films.
I just always thought that they like Andre 3000. So. No.
Oh well, we are. We're going on darn near 2 hours, so I won't keep you guys too much longer here. Just thank you guys very much for being in the chat tonight in the gallery. Everybody that's in the chat, if you're still watching, please hit that thumbs up button. That does help people find this content. So thank you guys very much, and I can't thank you guys enough. Dan, I'm really glad you can make the show tonight. I'd love to have you on in the future. That'd be awesome.
Thanks for having me.
And for all my regulars, I love you.
One more question or no?
Oh yeah, go. Yeah.
Yeah, real quick. What y'all think about the cap scene at the end?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Absolutely loved the cap scene. I thought that just wrapped that up exactly the right way. You know, I'm a huge fan of the first Avenger movie, and I love an origin story, and I thought that brought everything full circle. I loved it. I think it had helped end the movie on a very positive note. You know, I think everybody was in tears with Iron Man, and I think that just made it just an uplifting moment. So that was great.
Yeah, I thought that was super cool. I thought that was definitely the right way to handle that character.
Yeah,
I did too, because I really thought that he was going to be the one that died, because they kept saying, you know, he has no more future movies. You know, this was his last movie. So I figured that'd be the natural way for them to go. So it was a swerve for me, but man, I thought it was just amazing.
Yeah, I agree. That was such an epic moment in the movie. I actually thought that Cap was going to die, and especially
when he was standing alone.
Yeah.
When it showed the rope.
Yeah. And I thought that was his moment when he like strapped his shield like tighter, and I was like, wow, that's Cap. That's representing, you know, America and everything, you know. And that gave me chills. And then but to have it come full circle, like, you know, with what Dan said about the first Avenger, and he got to finally live his life. It was such a good send off. And you know, with Iron Man dying, that was such a awesome scene, and I couldn't like I at first like, oh damn, like I was shocked because I always thought it was going to be Cap, but then I understood why it had to be Iron Man. He was the creator of the MCU with his first movie, and it really brought a lot of emotions in that scene. So
yeah, it was really cool to see him get a win after all of this to get to go live a life and his love and all that. But I will say this, I would never have wanted to be Doctor Strange, because that would suck. No spoiler.
I know. Here I am. I can't go a week without trying to spoil something.
He's like, no, don't do that. It won't work that way. Like that would, oh my God, that would have drove me crazy.
Yeah, and I felt
when he held up that one finger and Tony was looking at him, I thought, I knew Tony was going to die.
Yeah. And it was like almost like Doctor Strange looked at Tony and they looked at each other and they had that moment. They're like, yeah.
I knew. They
knew.
Yeah, the one chance.
Yeah. I thought that was so cool. And he said, I am Iron Man. What an epic.
Oh my God.
That just
I love that he started, you know, at the end of the first movie, I am Iron Man. I am Iron Man. You know, it's just that it capped it perfectly. No pun intended, capped it. It really did. I mean, everybody says that last hour was fantastic, and it 100% was. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jeff, what did you think of the Cap final scene? Did you love it?
Yeah. I'm sad to see him gone, but yeah, if he had to go, I'm happier for that than he died there on the field.
Yeah. That's right. Amazing movie. If you have not seen it, I'm sorry we just spoiled it all for you.
Sorry for telling you everything.
We warned you.
Please write all of your letters to PJ and complain to him. But anyway, if you have seen it, go see it a couple more times, man. That thing is going to make $1 bajillion. It already has. Good for Disney.
It deserved it.
They've done. I just feel like there's never been a film series in history that has done such a great job of bringing characters and bringing it to the forefront of pop culture in the way that the MCU has done. It's definitely made, going into Iron Man in 2008, I knew very little of these characters. I was not a Marvel guy, but the movies have just woken me up like nobody else. And I just give these movies and the character choices and the actor choices, I don't think they could have done it any better from top to bottom. I I just think it's been amazing. So thank you guys for talking about it with me tonight. Again, thank you for being in the gallery and on the show. And we'll be back in a couple weeks for Rogues Gallery Live. So thank you guys again. Appreciate it.
Cool.
See ya.
Thanks.
All right, good night, everybody. See you in the back cave.
Take care, guys.